Hey everybody, thanks for joining today. I'm really excited. This is a first for me. I am joined today by Anisha Blodgett, who is a business owner in Pacific Beach. And when she was first opening up 3 years ago, we did an interview like this. And now she's come back to tell us how things are going. Anisha, thanks so much for joining. How are you?
Great. Yeah, last time we chatted was before we even opened. So fast forward 3 years, we're coming on to our third year in business in January. And I'm excited to have been able to continue to be part of our Pacific Beach community. It's been a tough couple of years for a lot of the other businesses in the neighborhood.
Absolutely. We will talk about that. Yeah, and 3 years almost to the day since we chatted last, right before your January opening. And yeah, I think that's just fun and exciting to find out how things have gone. Now, when you're going in, well, first let's let people know about your business, Powerhaus Pizza, and the concept, and when you rolled things out, what you were offering to the people, to the public.
Yeah, so we're a health-driven pizza place. So our goal is to make the foods that you want to eat pizza, which is traditionally a really unhealthy cheat meal or junk meal kind of food, into something that can be nourishing and healthy for a day-to-day lifestyle that's attracted to wellness and longevity, and just really trying to fit in with any dietary needs. So we got tons of gluten-free, vegan options, high protein options, and then also just having options that traditional pizza lovers going to enjoy, but using much higher quality ingredients. So we use all natural cheese. All of our meats are all natural, naturally raised. We use organic flour, and just trying to offer something, a different kind of niche in the pizza world.
Yeah, and it is so appreciated and welcome. And as you know, I've had them in there. I've got two little boys who would live on pizza if they could. But we very much enjoy in particular, the margarita pizza, kind of a get it down to the cheese. But they're like, yay, cheese pizza. And I'm like, whole wheat crust, natural ingredients. I love it. I don't feel guilty. It's fantastic. And the whole menu is great. And it's changed over the years, and you've added things. Give us a little bit of rundown. I know you already told us a little bit about what you had in the pizza realm and lots of natural healthy options, but there are some other things on the menu too.
Yeah, so we've got personal pizzas and large pizzas. And then unlike a traditional pizza place, we've rounded out our menu more like a health-driven restaurant. So we've got wraps on the menu. I recommend our Cali wrap. We make our own mango dressing, which is really yummy. We've got some salads, and of course we've got plant-based protein options for our challenge. For our salads, we've got a crunchy chickpea option. And then we've got smoothies. We make superfood smoothies. We've got 8 of them that we just always have different vegetables, fruits, no like sorbets or juices are in there. All of the menu ingredients are listed up on the board. And then we try to put in different superfoods in them. So things like hemp seeds, apple cider vinegar, chlorophyll drops, try to make it really healthy. And then I've got my like green drink here I grabbed on my way.
Nice.
And then we also have kombucha on tap from local brewers. So we've got usually about 6 or 7 rotating flavors that we partner with different just local vendors. And then we recently added, which we'll talk about more, some different alcoholic drinks. So we've got hard kombuchas also from local brewers, some craft beers. And then we're doing Italian DOCG wines, which don't have any additives or like chemicals, pesticides, preservatives in them.
Okay, so and that is an exciting addition, and one that I think other restaurant owners in the area are going to probably be hitting you up just to find out how you did it, because expanding to alcohol service in Pacific Beach is a challenge unto itself these days. And as a craft beer lover, I'm very excited that that is being added to the menu, and the hard kombuchas as well. The last one you mentioned, I'll admit, is a new one on me. Can you tell me what that's all about?
Yeah, you mean the Italian wines?
Yeah.
Yeah, I specifically was looking for Italian wines because to kind of go along with our mission of being minimally processed and not having any additives or fillers. It's because Italy has such a high import export or really export business of wines. They've put in their own controls in place where they regulate the wines. And if you see a DOCG label on an Italian wine, it means that the government is ensuring that the ingredients in there are like natural and exactly what they like made to the standards of their government. And so a lot of the wines that are produced different parts of the world, even in the States, they use things like mega purple chemicals. They put in additives, fillers, sugars, just a lot of different additives. And since our restaurant Wholesome Pizza is Powerhaus Wholesome Pizzas and Eats, the Italian wines with that label, it just kind of gives that accreditation that fits in with the rest of our menu.
That's fantastic. I'll learn something new. I'm sure
Yeah.
a lot of the people listening will have learned as well. It's funny, actually, pre-pandemic, I took a trip with some friends. I was fortunate enough to go to the Bordeaux region of France. I visited a bunch of wineries, of course, and a couple of them were moving that direction. I don't think they had the certifications that you're talking about, but instead of pesticides, literally putting out bat houses in the vineyards so the bats would control the pests.
Oh,
And things like
interesting.
that. Yeah. So that's really cool. And I'll segue on myself there, moving to pandemic, because right after I got back, everything shut down and things went completely crazy. And as a restaurant owner, I can only imagine, and a restaurant owner of what, maybe a year, a little bit plus at that point,
Yeah.
how that was. Tell us a little bit about the experience, and you guys have survived and thrived during that time. How'd you do it?
Yeah, so at the time we were just over a year into business. So we were still figuring out our menu, figuring out our team. I was still learning and growing as a first time business owner. And it was a lot to navigate at one time. At that point, my husband's active duty military. So he was actually away for all of this. So
Oh man.
I think the hardest thing was I lost all of my team all at one time to all take unemployment, which was just, paying a lot more than they were making in the restaurant, and
Right.
they didn't have to work. So you couldn't beat that. So, starting from scratch, there were some days where I did like open to close all by myself.
Oh my
So
God.
it was pretty crazy. But, and then we kind of got into a groove. I had about 4 or 5 team members that did a really good job. And it was a really tough year for my team. So a lot of them did, they got burnt out in this summer. Again, unemployment was in full swing, and everybody knows that the labor market was pretty competitive, and I had to close quite a few days this summer. I was probably closed for 3 Saturdays in August just because they didn't have enough staff.
Mhm.
And this summer, like it was like our best sales days ever that I had to close, and I'm like, it's not even worth it. Like how like me and one person, we just can't even handle the demand that we were getting this summer, because we've also been growing quite a bit since we opened 3 years ago. So we just, before I could do a shift all by myself if I absolutely needed to. Now we kind of have a minimum number of people that we need for a Saturday night for it to even not be like a complete mess or stressful.
Right. Right. Well, good problem to have, right? But still,
Yeah.
yeah, just keeping up. And yeah, man, what an amazing challenge that year has been. But congratulations on coming out of it.
Yeah.
3 years in the business, the restaurant business, not easy to start with, and to throw that on top and to be expanding and successful. I'm just thrilled to see that that's been the case for you.
Yeah,
Um,
luckily been able to really grow our team now. So, and then actually just in the last couple of months, I've added in some team lead positions. So we've got some team members that have really taken up a leadership role, and they've been doing a really good job. They're learning the ropes, but now they're also, helping help elevate the rest of the team. I work with a business coach, and I, try to pass on all of our learnings. And everybody at the store is just a really positive, enthusiastic person, and everybody's just looking to level up and develop further. So we've got a good team here.
that's amazing, and really, I don't, as you'll remember, these conversations often, I like to inquire about the entrepreneurial bent of the people I'm speaking with, and
Hmm.
clearly you are a charger in that space. And that's great. I mean, you're literally growing to the point where you're becoming an executive, and you're stepping back, and
Hmm.
you're letting people, you're delegating, and that's a huge move in 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really cool. Well, I mean, I know you mentioned the additions to the menu. Is there anything else that's new or coming up for the new year that you want to share with people?
Yeah, so our offsite, like our corporate catering, has been a pretty large part of our business. We do catering for quite a few like digital marketing companies, pharmaceutical companies. The pharmaceutical companies have been one of the few industries that have actually been working in person throughout the pandemic. So we
Hmm.
had quite a few of them ordering, on like a to incentivize their employees to be coming in every day. They were also buying lunches for their teams almost every day for quite a few of the companies that we were working with. So our offsite catering has really developed quite a bit over the last 2 years or so. And we're actually looking forward, now that we've got the beer and wine license, we're looking forward to hosting more private events or semi-private events at our restaurant too. I know that for a lot of like smaller companies that are in the 20 to 30 to buy out, a whole room in some of the larger restaurants or
Hmm.
even looking at hotels, the minimums are pretty steep.
Right.
So we kind of feel like we can kind of be a little niche in that market of having, semi-private private event for up to 30 people or so in our beautiful space, because we have done quite a bit to make our space pretty trendy and Instagrammable, and that
Hmm.
brings in all the TikTok influencers and Instagrammers coming in to make videos. That's been, big part of our business too, is just having people wanting to share what we've got going because they're just attracted to what we're putting out, our branding, our pizza boxes, and the aesthetics of our store.
And yeah, you nailed it. I mean, as far as the space, it is a really cool space, and what you guys did to transform it when you moved in was terrific. Really indoor outdoor feel, super
Mm-hmm.
clean, super, yeah, just hang out a bull, if that's a word, spot.
Yeah.
um where, yeah, you're not just going in to grab a bite and leaving. It's very inviting to maybe get a little bit of work done and spend some time, or have that meeting. So no, that's amazing. And you, as well as attracting social media folks, are quite good at it yourself. I got to give you kudos. Your social media is definitely on point. So that comes from a business coach. It sounds like that's a development thing that you've been doing. But that transition, I was curious when you mentioned it, the transition to doing catering and corporate events and that. How did that come to pass? Was that intentional, or did it a happy accident?
I think the first order, maybe the first like catering order that we got was maybe out of the blue, and then realized, hey, this is a completely untapped market. And I actually do quite a bit of cold call outbound outreach for our catering clients. So
Hmm.
that's, looking up all the companies, going off, dropping catering menus. So I do spend a pretty significant amount of my time getting those catering clients, but it's been well worth it for sure.
Well, and again, as a business leader, a CEO, you are, uh, whether entitled or not, I don't know how you structure your business, but you know that's the role, right? You get up
Yeah.
about, you get out of the trenches, and you expand and you develop relationships, while your trusted resources, your people, are keeping the ship sailing. And
Yeah.
it sounds like you've made huge strides. So that's really
Yeah.
awesome.
And it works out really well because we can do a pretty high volume of individual orders. Even like Prospect Financial, a local PB business, they've got like 120 people, and the fact that we can feed them individualized, especially during COVID when people didn't want to do sharing. So we could
Right.
do like, between salads, wraps, and pizzas, we could feed 120 people all individual portions. That was pretty good. And shout out to Prospect, local PB business. They've been one of our number one clients that are just ordering these large orders for their team. So
And they have a great space. Although
mhm.
I was sad to see yesterday, we actually got some weather San Diego wise, and they lost a couple of their pop-up tents. I saw that.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
no.
but hopefully I'm sure they'll bounce back. But yeah, they've got a good space and a lot of fun, that pool table out front and whatnot. But well, really cool. I mean, we haven't mentioned where exactly you are yet, so let's make sure we get that information for people. How do they find you, and what's the preferred method of ordering? Because we have all these intermediaries these days. How do you want people to find you?
Yeah, so we're right on Garnett between Ingram and Haynes. So next to the Core Power Yoga there on the north side of Garnett. We do have some parking space spots right behind the restaurant. So I know sometimes it can be a little challenging finding a spot. So definitely
Yeah.
park right behind the restaurant, through the alley. And if you want to come hang out with us, have a drink, have a bite, definitely come in. The team will get you set up, give you some, options. And we do actually, especially since the pandemic, our business has transitioned quite a bit to takeout and delivery. So definitely the best would be to order directly on our website for takeout or delivery. We do have a delivery option. We dispatch DoorDash drivers, and then you're not paying all of the delivery extra commissions that we have, accounted for in our pricing on a third-party platform. So
Right.
right on our website, Powerhouse, spelled PowerHausPizza.com, is where they can find us.
Perfect. And the address on Garnett? Do we get
It's 1550 Garnett Ave.
Got it. All right. Well,
Yeah.
again, Anisha, this was really fun and exciting for me. Again, first time in my park bench adventures that where I got to circle back and talk to somebody who had been doing the business and in such an interesting and challenging set of years as well. So thank you for taking the time to meeting back up with me. And
Yeah.
congratulations on all the success. Hopefully people, if they haven't checked you out already, will come and say hello. I'll be popping in for a craft beer soon, and along with the delicious menu. But
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the time.
Yeah, we're really happy to be part of our PB community.
Oh, wait, and reminds me, before I let you go, you gave a shout out to Prospect a little bit. Uh, any other spots you want? I always like to give a time to make a mention of some local business owners. I know you guys have
Yeah.
really lifted each other up, in talking to so many of you during the pandemic. So anybody you want to mention?
Yeah, for sure. Because we're in the health and wellness space, we work really closely with a lot of the different gyms in the neighborhood that are always, supporting us, and we can do a lot of cross promotion. So Core Power Yoga right next door to us, Spirit Yoga and Spirit Bar, which so Spirit Yoga expanded into Spirit Bar during the pandemic. Also right across the street from us are always doing amazing stuff. Movement Warehouse right on like Garnett between on Garnett between Haynes and Gresham. They're doing group fitness, and it's all strength based. It's all outside group classes. It's really good. We do a lot of work with them. Renegade, a little bit further down across from Sprouts. They're also really awesome, like group fitness class, high
I don't know that
intensity.
one yet. Okay.
Yeah, that one they've probably been for at least a year in PB. And then also our friends over at Yoga Box on Grand and Bayard, they're also doing amazing stuff. More of like a dance club vibe in their yoga studio.
Very
And
cool.
all of the businesses in PB are always, so helpful, so supportive. Everybody's in it together. I know on the hospitality scene, I know that we also have, right on my blog, Type 55 Brazilian Bowls. They're amazing. We all have a little like text, double checking how's it going there.
Mhm.
Harmonia, one block away, they opened. They opened right before the pandemic, I believe. So they're really just starting to pick up their steam and get their name out in the community. And then Quench Juice Bar, acai bowls over there over on Mission Boulevard. So everybody is just so friendly, everybody's so helpful. Lots of great businesses in PB, and it's definitely a challenging market to be in, just like outside of COVID. Just there are a
Yeah.
lot of businesses, and it's a very seasonal business. So any support that your audience is doing to help support the local community, everybody appreciates it for sure.
Well, and we'll make sure
And to
to
you too. I mean, doing all the shout outs for all the businesses,
well,
it's meaningful.
it's fun. It's fun for me. And I've those who know me know I've been in Pacific Beach for a long time now. I got a lot here with the way most people did. I came to visit and then I just never left because it's too much fun. But I've built a life and a family here, and I love participating in the community. So thank you for allowing me to do a little bit more of that today. And I know you're super busy, so I'll let you get back to it. But yeah, we'll link to all those people you mentioned and make sure people are able to find you as well. And if you haven't out there, those of you out there haven't gone and seen Anisha at Powerhouse Pizza yet, you need to do it. So that's it, Anisha. Enjoy the rest of your day and the holidays, and best to you and yours. And
Thank you. You too.
thank you.